My name is Peter, and this is Coordinate Challenge, where you decide my next destination in the Norwegian wilderness. I'll be going off trail and will have to rely on my own navigational skills in order to overcome natural obstacles and reach my target. On the way to these coordinates, I'll be filming myself to document my adventures. In this episode, I'll be going to an area that I'm already familiar with called Synnfjell, a solitary mountain range. The coordinate this time is on its second highest peak. As I will find myself in mostly alpine terrain above the tree line, I'll be using my skis to navigate the terrain. I will park my car near an old farmstead just below the tree line, and from there on I will make my way up into the mountains. My biggest challenge this time is not getting too overconfident in this terrain due to familiarity and to stop checking my map while relying on landmarks in the distance as a result, because this could get me in serious trouble when visibility drops during a whiteout. Can you also spot the editing goof in this video? Let me know in the comments below. This will sadly also be the last episode before the hiatus in April, due to work-related travel and courses I'll be taking. But Corner Challenge will be back with brand new springtime episodes in May. But for now, enjoy this episode. Alright, I'm at the starting point now, and this time I've got the same equipment as my last mountain skiing trip, with one exception, and that is that I brought a bivy bag this time as well, which I could use in conjunction with my emergency blanket to have a makeshift shelter in case I run into bad weather. But the weather today is absolutely gorgeous, so I don't think I'll need it, but it's good to have it. So now it's time to go. I've noticed something, and that's that because of the intensity of the sun, I have to wear my goggles, because else I'll risk getting snow blindness, and that will be especially dangerous if I'm all by myself. The intensity of the sun is also making it really warm, so at the moment I'm feeling a bit overdressed, but I know that on top of the mountain this will be the gear that I need to have with me in case the weather turns, or if it gets colder when it gets closer to nightfall. So I've got to make sure that I don't overexert myself too much, I don't sweat too much, so that sweat might freeze later on. But yeah, so take breaks and just open up the sleeves. Look over here, found some animal tracks, so if I'm really quiet and keep my eyes peeled, maybe I'll see one. These can't be more than a day's old, because lots of snow fell yesterday, so it's got to be from today. Alright, time to be extra quiet. Alright, I'm above the tree line now, and the snow conditions are absolutely perfect. There's not too much powder snow, but there's a nice fine layer sprinkled on top of the solid layer of snow, so that makes for perfect powder chasing conditions, so I can't wait to go down. I've noticed that because of the heat that my goggles, they keep fogging up, so I've got to use a cloth to wipe them on the inside, which is a bit tiresome. And on top of that, I've also noticed that because of the heat that I'll most likely need to drink plenty of water in order to stay hydrated. So I'm gonna have a quick water break soon.
Alright, it's about time for that water rake now, and could have had a worse view. It's time for a nibble as well. Cheers! Instead of having a small nibble just now, I actually had a full-on lunch. So there will be no more big breaks before I reach the target. So I'll get there well on time, I suppose. I've noticed that I'm making one big mistake, because I'm already quite familiar with this area, and that is that I don't check my map often enough. So that's something I've got to keep in mind. And I know that instead of just going on my compass and on seeing the peak, I have to look at the map to see what's in between as well, to see if I can choose the right path. Because as of now, I'm climbing up peaks only to find out that behind it I have to go down again. So then it's better to go around, and for that I need to check the map more often. It's gone a lot cloudier and mistier now, which means that there's a real possibility that I'll be whiteout conditions. So now I have to be absolutely sure where I am at all times when navigating, because in these conditions there's no way I can see the peak. Seems like it's clearing up again. This peak here is this 1245 meter peak here on the map. So there's no use going up, because then I'll have to come down as well. I'll just be wasting energy. So it's better to just stick to the sides here instead of going all the way up there. I might actually be very lucky and get to see cloud inversion one time at the top. So, fingers crossed. Just now both of my compasses went a bit mental, and it was a proper whiteout as well, so I couldn't really see where I was going, so I had to wait. It's gone quite a bit windier here, so I've cooled down a bit. So that is what's very important to have spare compasses. Well, mine were both a bit dodgy at that point, so that's just bad luck, but it's better to just stay in position and try and see where you are and which direction you're going, instead of just wandering off into a direction which you don't even know is the direction that you have to go into. Right, I made it to Synnfjell's second highest peak, which means I'm at the target now. So now only the way back remains. So it's time for a celebratory brew. But it's a lot windier up here and a lot colder. So I'm going to find a place that's out of the wind to properly celebrate. Alright, I found myself a place that is slightly sheltered. I just look at the view all the clouds just went away for a bit. So that's a nice view for a coffee. I'm a bit further down now, and it's the wind still up here, but I'm in complete whiteout conditions. I can't see a lot, but I've managed to find back my previous tracks, so I'm going to follow them for a bit, so I know exactly where I'm going. I'm not end up tumbling off cliffs or those kind of things. That would be that wouldn't be beneficial at all. Even though the wind's gone down, it's still well cold. Everything's starting to freeze. My left nostril is frozen over, and it feels like the back of my hair is freezing quite a bit as well. And it's sticking to my jacket, which isn't very pleasant. But yeah, I'm not feeling that cold anymore, so got to keep on going to keep myself warm. Alright, I'm nearly down the tree line again, so that means I'm almost back at the starting point. And the weather's really nice again. It's really nice and sunny. No wind. It sure has been a day of extremes. That means I've got to be prepared for everything. Now it's time to go down. And that will be easy because I've ended up right next to my old tracks as well. So. Alright, I'm back at the starting point now, and the biggest thing I've learned this trip was that I've got to keep on checking my map. Also in areas I'm already familiar with, maybe especially in areas I'm already familiar with, so I don't keep on focusing on landmarks I already know, because then like today, a whiteout could overtake me and then I wouldn't be able to see where I'm going. It's also very important to have spare compasses in case some of them start working a bit badly. But yeah, that's what I could take with me for the next trip. and this time I managed to make it out. So see you next time.
All that remains for me to say now is I'll be looking forward to your coordinate suggestions in the comments below and to subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on Twitter, where I'll be posting sneak peek pictures of the adventures you'll be sending me on. Any tips or good advice is also more than welcome.